It's here, it's upon us, and it's race day here at Barber Motorsports Park. Moto America Stock 1000 is about to hit the track for the first time today in racing trim. It's a breezy day, and as Roger just told me a moment ago, it is a no temperature day if you're from Alabama. Welcome everybody to Birmingham. I'm Robbie Floyd. This is the Moto America star, Roger Hayden. And Raj, you talked about it being a no temperature day because you can wear shorts, you can wear pants. For our fans here, you could not ask for a better day.
Definitely the weather is perfect this weekend. Today is just, it's warm enough for the soft tire. It's just great. There's a lot of fans here, and I'm excited for the first race.
What do you expect in the Stock 1000? Because looking at it from the outside looking in, we have Cam Petersen, the series points leader, has looked pretty darn dominant so far this weekend.
He's definitely looked dominant this weekend so far. Even from the first practice, he's been really fast right out of the gate, and all the other guys have been playing catch-up. So we'll see once the race starts if Travis Wyman, Mesa, Corey Alexander, Michael Gilbert, if any of those guys can run with him.
As we get ready to take off for their sighting lap here in just a moment, let's send it down to our partner in crime down on pit lane. It's Miss Jamie Howe.
Hello. So it's a beautiful time to start a race. These clouds have really thickened back up, so we've got nice, comfortable temperatures for everybody that's here on the circuit, all of the riders that are about to get going. I want to go back to Cam Petersen real quick. This morning in the practice session that we had for Stock 1000, he was one of the riders that did not go out with the rest of their class because they went out with Superbikes. They're also doing that Superbike class today for that race. And the problem for the rest of the Stock 1000 competitors is that Cam was able to pick up even more pace. They raised the ride height of that bike. He's even happier on it. That's exactly the same way that they're going to race that bike today. So he's even more comfortable than he was when we saw him qualify.
Yeah, when you see that confidence out of Cam Petersen and coming in and relaxing and looking and watching what everybody else does and knowing that Wyman, Mesa, Alexander, they got some work to do. You're the series points leader, and there's a reason because you've been out in front more times than Corey Alexander as we get ready to take off. Let's take a look at the championship points battle. It's still, a 17-point margin. That can change in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it can change really quick, especially this weekend with a lot of guys being quick. Corey's going to need to start winning races, though, to start getting that points. The gap between first and second is 5 points, and Corey doesn't want to dig himself too big of a hole because there's not a lot of races left.
Bit of a surprise, though, when you see Corey Alexander having to start from that second row?
A little bit. It's a little bit better for him this weekend, this practice this morning. He was a little bit quicker. So it is surprising because he's been on the podium all weekend and he's a title contender, but he hasn't been here in almost 5 years, and he's also never rode a 1000 here before. So it's a little bit more for him to get used to.
Yeah, there's only been 1 week here that Corey Alexander has not finished on that podium. As we take a look at our starting grid for the Stock 1000s, Mesa going to be on the inside. Hey, give Mesa a good start, good launch on that inside. You dictate the pace, just push everybody wide, and you go from third to first.
I think somebody's going to have to get the whole shot over Cam Petersen. If not, if he gets in the lead, he's going to do what he's did the last couple races, just kind of get in the lead and check out.
Max Girardo on row 3 on the inside. And Chris Crossland, Joe Giannato. Good results here recently as well in the middle of row 3. Hunter Dunham on there on the outside of 4. Good to see him back in there in the mix, looking for another top 10. Trying to get in that top 5 this weekend. Jeff Pert looked quick at times earlier in the second qualifier. Danilo Lewis, we've seen him fast. Past couple of rounds, a Brazilian, and you talk about him being new to Moto America, new to this course, where many of these guys have raced on this track before. That's probably not the case for Danilo Lewis.
Every track he's going to this year has been brand new for him, so it takes he has to learn the track, and I think that's one reason why he was so fast at the Ridge, because nobody else had been there before, and kind of made it an even playing field.
Cam Petersen, the guy to beat. He's coming off back-to-back victories, and there's one guy also that we haven't talked about is Michael Gilbert, the 55. He's going to start, middle of that second row. Here's a guy, coming off of back-to-back podium finishes, a second and a third place the last couple of rounds between the Ridge as well as New Jersey. Really hadn't had any testing time, but he gets that one test day in at Jersey. Seems like they found something, and they got things going in the right direction for Gibby.
Definitely. Even last weekend, being on the podium, the race before that, last year he was on the podium here. So it just has to give him some confidence when you go to a track that you did well at the year before. It just, whenever you go into it, just gives you that good feeling that you know the track well.
Second place behind Andrew Lee here last year. We're at Barber Motorsports Park. When the light turns out, it's time to go. No more red, and a great launch by the Alta
Not
Suzuki.
a good start by Travis Wyman.
No, but look at the 45. If you were wanting to get it in front of him in the front, is that
Great start by Corey Alexander.
Yes.
Did exactly what he had to do.
Yeah, Corey
Moved
Alexander.
all the way into second.
Look for that Kawasaki. I was trying to figure out if it was Gilbert or if it was Mesa, and it was Alexander. You can see the different body types between Mesa and Alexander. One's in the 5-foot range, the other one in the 6-foot range.
Looks like Mesa's trying to go up the inside of Gilbert into 5. Didn't make it.
First lap of 13, and it has literally been chasing the times of Cam Peterson so far in Stock 1000 practice and qualifying this week at Barber Motorsports Park. Some cool ups and downs to this track. It's about a little over 2.25 miles long. It circulates in a clockwise direction, 17 turns, but really not many straightaways, not many flat parts in this course. There's a lot of ups and downs. You say this is a pivotal turn here.
Yeah, this one here is really difficult turn. When you get into here, you come up over this hill and the rear end gets light. You see the bikes wiggling as they go over, and it's something these riders will have to deal with even more once the tire goes off.
Turning around right, even further right into the last left-hand turn. That'll be turn 17. You see Peterson and the Kawasaki not too far behind. I think this is everything you could ask for if you're Corey Alexander, don't you think? After not necessarily the best qualifying, to come out here and put yourself behind Cam Peterson.
Yeah, he's back 1 second, but he cannot let him get any further away. I just think once Cam gets going, he needs to, go with him and stay within that 1 second and keep the pressure on.
Although Raj, it was the first lap. You see Cam Peterson like first, second, and third, the fastest sectors overall. But then just behind Corey Alexander, sector 4, sector 5. Maybe he had a little bit more confidence in those tires. He see where Peterson's at, and he can maybe push it a little bit more as we're taking a look at that battle for Gilbert back there in third, Mesa in fourth on the 37.
Michael Gilbert's actually had a good first lap here, making up a couple spots.
That's what we expected more of out of Michael Gilbert at the start of the season, where he started last year so well up there near the top of that podium. This year struggling to make the podium, but has done that in the past 2 rounds. Prior to that, he only had 1 podium finish at Road America 2, where he finished third. Stefano Mesa's missed the last couple of weeks where Gilbert's can turn it on. We haven't seen Mesa. Let's quickly go down to Jamie Howe.
And Michael Gilbert says he's reached a point in the season where he feels like they really have a bike that he's won with now. He feels like it's his motorcycle. Anything that happens out on the racetrack, he feels like will be a result of what he as a rider is able to improve on. This morning in the practice session, he was the rider that did the full race stint. So he did 14 laps, 13 plus 1 to get into make sure that he has a good solid race bike underneath him.
And knows where that tire is going to be at the end of the day as well, Raj, and we didn't see that out of everybody else.
Nope, and that's when it counts. The last 5 or 6 laps, once those tires go off, it's going to be really important, especially because he's going to be in that battle for the podium. And see Cam Peterson that lap pulled out, to 2.5 lead. So they're going to not let him keep pulling away 0.6 a lap.
We're sharing the wealth, though, on some purple times. Again, we talk about purple on our timing and scoring. It means the overall best, but now I'm seeing more and more purple for Cam Peterson. I do see a quickest sector 5 for Michael Gilbert. Corey Alexander has the best trap speed. Now, the speed these guys are turning, just shy of 150 miles an hour, 147.3 by Corey Alexander the time before. So you can't let Peterson get away. But again, there's second, there's third, there's fourth. These guys are still racing for those podium spots.
And you can see that Michael Gilbert's closing up on Corey, and he's bringing Stefano Mesa with him.
And those are 2 guys that are, used to racing each other. Did last year, got together several times. Jeff May, the only one, I'm surprised. Where's Jeff May this weekend? He's typically here at these rounds. I sure wish he was in the mix because, he always throws it in there as well on his Kawasaki. Looking at the field, you have Suzuki of Cam Peterson, the 45 out in front now, another purple, a 125.59. He's a 0.5 second faster than Corey Alexander that last lap on a Kawasaki. The Kawasaki of Michael Gilbert in third, Stefano Mesa on a Cowie, Travis Wyman, the BMW in fifth, and how about it, Ashton Yates on the Honda for the first time. We're seeing him up there near that top 5, and that's an old bike You can't teach an old dog new
Yep,
tricks. He's
and-
looking fast.
And Cam Peterson actually, he's broke the overall track record already this weekend, and now he breaks the race record by half a second. So
not even close. I mean, he's just killing
smashed it. Before it was Andrew Lee had it at a 26.0, and Cam Peterson's running 25.5, so a half a second.
Let's send it down to Jamie Howe.
Well, if you're looking for a rider to follow, somebody to really latch onto, it would be Stefano Mesa, certainly in that running. Remember, he hasn't run the last couple of races because it was just too far. He doesn't have the budget. He's not a full season team, but he has spent the last month on the road doing all of the regional races he could to earn enough money to be able to come and even ride here at Barber Motorsports Park. He showed up. It was up in the top three, the first practice session, the second and the third, started the race in the third position, and he changes his own tires when he comes into pit lane. So certainly a small budget, but a lot of drive behind him.
Yeah, we've seen that. We saw it on MotoAmerica.com, and they posted it on Twitter and Instagram and just showed, he pulls off. Roger, you were impressed how he goes so fast out there on the track and be a top qualifier and then go back, throw his tires on, get back out on the track and does it. I heard somebody point out on social media, said, oh, it's not because he